In the year 2025, the nation of Valoria teetered on the brink of chaos. With a ruthless cartel pulling the strings of power, fear and disorder reigned. The government reduced to puppets dangling on a string as the cartel reigned in full force. No one dared to look them in the eye as they patrolled the country, looting all that shines and everything that met their fancy. The thought of challenging them was something unheard of. The simple thought of it brought shivers to civilians. The police force and army officials looked sideways due to fear of the retaliation. A few years back, when the cartel stormed the country, taking city by city, an army general and a set of soldiers had stood ground when the cartel attacked their city. They had used as much force as possible to try and run out the cartel. The base used heavy gun helicopters and armored trucks to try and defend the city. The battle lasted a week before the general and his men surrendered. The battle had been fierce, and a lot of infrastructure had been destroyed, not to mention loads of innocent civilians' lives lost, caught between the heavy exchange. The cartel had kidnapped family members and relatives of the general and his army. With this in mind, they had decided to surrender even without the assurance that their relatives would be released. The day the general and his soldiers surrendered, the base was overcast with cartel presence. The general and his men could be seen bound by ropes on their arms and legs, laying prostrate in a line on the tarmac. They were ordered to stand up and hop to the military trucks. From afar, cartel cars could be seen dropping off the relatives in an open field. Some told stories of the torture they had received, and others, the wounds, told a deeper and much more horror-filled experience. The general and his men were never to be seen again. Amidst all this turmoil, 7 elite soldiers turned mercenaries, led by the stalwart Captain Jack, decided to fight back. During the night, they were crime-fighting shadows. They attacked the cartel starting from the rural areas, making their way to the big cities. With all these waves the mercenaries were making, their work was noticed by one of the country's billionaires, Mr. Sparks, whose businesses were under siege. They embarked on a bold mission. Their objective? Infiltrate the cartel's stronghold and retrieve crucial evidence, a blueprint hijacked by a cartel crew from Mr. Sparks' envoy en route to a secure location. Mr. Sparks owned gold mines, diamond mines, factories and businesses within this nation. The cartel had made his assets a target, as these could further enhance their power and greed. With such resources, they could even dare to invade neighboring countries. Unbeknown to them, the briefcase they had robbed had been installed with a highly accurate GPS location finder. Armed with cutting-edge weaponry and a meticulously crafted strategy, they used the darkness to their advantage as they advanced to the cartel's stronghold, led by the GPS location. The cartel had taken over the country's 5-star hotel in the city center. The cartel boss had taken a liking to their presidential suite and the amenities it came with, which influenced his decision to make it his second home. The hotel was an impressive 47-story building operating 4 elevators. The presidential suite was situated on the top floor with amazing ceiling-to-floor windows overlooking the city. This hotel had hosted many famous and top people worldwide, but when the cartel took over the country, many people had shielded away from it. However, local civilians were still allowed to use the bottom 45 floors by the cartel boss. The cartel had planted their people strategically around the hotel and within the floor entrances and exits. The mercenaries had caught wind of some juicy intel. The briefcase had led them directly to the cartel boss, a man known for his ruthless, arrogant, anger and destructive personality. So many people had died in this country under his hand and command. Mass killings, extortion, public brutality are just a few of the things on his daily menu. The mercenaries chose a silent approach due to being outnumbered. They moved in the shadows along the buildings. Their semi-automatic weapons had silencers. With earpieces, their communication was strong. They moved in a synchronized manner. One flash here, another flash there. They took out the cartel protecting the outside of the hotel and moved the bodies into the shadows. They entered the hotel using the basement delivery route. They made their way through the stairs, taking out all the cartel members they encountered. As they reached the 45th floor, loud music could be heard from above. It sounded like a huge celebration was taking place. With heightened alertness, the mercenaries approached the 46th floor. Flash here and flash there, 2 bodies lay on the floor. The cartel on the staircase entrance had been taken care of. They made their way into the corridor which led to an open area in front of the restaurant. Another flash here and another flash there. 2 more cartel members had been taken care of. A huge bang, bang, bang echoed as a cartel member caught wind of what was taking place. Shotgun in hand, he made all the shells fly, screaming towards the location of the mercenaries. Other cartel members joined. Bang, bang, whoosh, bang. Different calibers had entered the scene. The mercenaries knew they were outnumbered and outgunned. "Throw your smoke and flash grenades," Captain Jack's voice could be heard in the mercenaries' earpieces. A loud bang here, there and over there could be heard. The flash grenades blinded the cartel, giving chance for the mercenaries to return fire. The smoke grenades did their work, hiding the mercenaries into the smoke. "Get on the floor," Captain Jack shouted once again. The cartel, in all the confusion and lack of vision, were shooting aimlessly and everywhere. Due to panicking, they started opening fire on each other in the smoke. Cartel members from other floors joined and the mercenaries offloaded their flash grenades and smoke grenades, causing more confusion and commotion. The mercenaries aimed for the legs and finished the fallen fowls on the ground. Within minutes that seemed like hours, the floor was cleared, and only lifeless bodies remained. They made their way to the 47th floor. Flash here and flash there, the guards protecting the entrance were down. The team stormed the room with weapons on the ready. Flash, 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 flash. Mighty cartel members were hit before they could reach. The lounge for the presidential suite was massive and elegantly designed from floor to ceiling, and ornaments of vast value were positioned strategically as if to paint a beautiful story. The mercenaries swept through the rooms, and it seemed the further in they got, the more elegant things become. The scene looked like death in paradise. The sound system was very loud and sounded so pure, as if massaging the brain through the eardrums. Slowly they opened the master bedroom and made a rush inside, slow motion as if the air had taken a pause. The cartel boss, unaware of the sudden entrance of the uninvited guests, was busy writing somethings on the computer on a marble table facing the city through the eye-watering scenery made possible by the wall-to-wall, ceiling-to-floor windows. One of the mercenaries switched off the powerful sound system and the cartel boss turned to face, weapons pointed at his direction. Another mercenary motioned that he stood up and turned around to be cuffed. Without a fight or hesitation, the cartel boss stood up and did as he was instructed. Captain Jack with two other mercenaries entered another room with a huge vault. After a few slaps and persuasive punches, the cartel boss agreed to open the vault. Gold bars, loose diamonds, expensive watches, files filled with documents to pin the cartel down, and documents stating participating members in this corruption were neatly organized in the vault. The blueprint was among these files. The evidence they had unearthed toppled the corrupt regime, liberating Valoria. But their mission didn't end there. They continued their fight for justice, becoming the country's unsung heroes. The elite force called for tough and near impossible missions. For the innocent children forced into warfare, Captain Jack and his team offered a second chance at life. Re-education facilities were put into place. A beacon of hope, they proved that unity could conquer even the most formidable foe. Their legacy? A nation freed from the grips of tyranny. They are the heroes of Valoria, forever etched in the annals of history. Short pause. The shadows that brought light out of darkness.